Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Time Is Now podcast. My name is Jody Albert Moss, and my guest today is Audrey Walters. And Audrey's a spiritual person on a journey. She has a lot of experience, and she's just recently started a YouTube channel where she's inspired to help others follow their path. So I'd like to turn it over to Audrey. And Audrey, if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself.
I recently discovered that I was a starseed. A starseed is a person that has memories of being born and being raised on another planet and coming to Earth to serve a mission to help humanity grow and become part of the galactic community that everybody is talking about in the starseed community. Um, I started having experiences when I was really, really young, but didn't fully come about until when I was 16, when I published a video on my YouTube channel of a picture that I took when I was 16 of two visitors visiting my bedroom. And that really kind of opened the door to meeting other people like myself and being introduced into this type of community. Um, when the pandemic lockdown started, I started noticing that it started to speed up the acceleration of people waking up. And so we started having a flood of new people coming in that have started to become more spiritually aware, started having a lot more contact. And I started noticing that people were publishing on different forums, different websites, and there wasn't really a place for them to learn or understand this type of stuff without being bogged down by fear-based stuff to different types of negative conspiracy theories. I just wanted to create a channel where it's just basic information, basic facts, away from fear-based, away from negative conspiracies, and just educate people about this stuff and make sure that they know that they're not alone. And there are other people that want to help and educate people that are starting out new or lost and just don't know where to begin. And this is usually where they come to my channel and they can just pick up where they feel comfortable of starting on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, I went and watched a few of your videos on your YouTube channel, and it really resonated with me. There's a real authenticity there, a realness that I think is really needed in this community. And I thank you for sharing that. I'm looking forward to watching more of your videos. If I ask anything and you don't want to answer it, just don't answer it. You mentioned earlier that you had visitors in your room. Well, you want to talk a bit about that? Were they dimensional visitors or off-world visitors or?
Um, they were off-world visitors from what I know, but I have noticed that they shield themselves or put I call it a cloaking device, but a lot of people might prefer it as a, I guess, cloak or visibility or some way to like not see them on the physical scale, but they somehow allowed me to take a picture of them. They must have known from, I guess, countless of experiences when I was a young child that I'm not a threat to them. I'm not hostile. And so it was a learning opportunity for me, and it was a learning opportunity for them as well, because it was a way to order to educate me. Because when I took that picture, I was in a very, very dark place in my point of time, and that kind of catapult me away from that type of negative aspect of my life and to change it into something more positive. And eventually, over time, once I started learning about this stuff, especially about myself, the spiritual community, the UFO community, metaphysics, I started to compass all this type of data and try to I guess, regurgitate it to help people be more educated, but instead of it being confusing, try to simple it down and try to educate people on a more, I guess, logical and more concrete information type of style. And just basically, here's what I've learned, and then have people comment back. And it's like, this is how I've learned. And as I grow my channel and as more people come forward about their experiences, we can start relearning different types of spiritual knowledge that has been lost throughout time, and regather it in order to help others awaken, heal, and do their spiritual mission or spiritual work here on this planet.
Yeah, there's such a need for people to understand that they're not alone. Other people are having the experiences. And from just listening to you now, it's almost like you're a translator. You're helping to, or an interpreter, change the information that's coming so it's more receivable to the average person who maybe hasn't got the foundation of this, on social media, all the thrill words and everything. They're just having experiences and they're looking for people that can help them through it.
Yeah, I have noticed that a lot of information has been miscommunicated. A lot of it is disinformation, a lot of it is fear based. And so I try to stay away from politics, stay away from fear based, try to stay away from conspiracies, and just stick with the facts and different authors who have published their works and understanding, and start to create sort of a, I guess, cosmic library of spiritual knowledge and spiritual stuff where people can come and learn and not worry about paying, but it's just free, accessible information that they can learn at any time and just take it one step at a time.
Right. What are your thoughts on what's happening in the world now? There's a lot of, I've noticed in the last week or so, there's a surge forward in, like, oh, they're finding UFOs, they're finding all this ancient knowledge, they're finding,
Um,
yeah, what do you think of that?
it's because a lot of people will, from on the human side, the humans want first the closure. On the galactic side, there is a lot of galactic talks and discussions. They're debating whether or not Earth will be moved from a unclassified designation planet to a level 0 planet, which means that will allow visitors to come and interact on a more, I guess, physical level. But due to the type of information that I have gathered, and due to the state of affairs that's going on, first the closure is sort of put on the back burner, but there is still a lot of work that still has to be done to order to get humanity to accept first the closure. And it is a very huge deal for them and a huge deal for us. But humanity has to learn to come over their, I guess, negative ways of life and turn towards more a positive way of life. And I don't see that happening anytime soon. But I do know that it is still a lot of work that needs to be done. But that's what I have heard on two different sides, that on two different sides there's many different talks, different discussions, but it mostly comes down to, is humanity ready to move to the next step in their evolutionary scale?
I agree with that also. And I believe that really what we can do is just try to be as positive and as uplifting as we can in our own lives. And hopefully enough of us will light up that it will change our reality. So my question would be, does it have to be all of humanity, or is it like, do you think it would be like a percentage? Like if 55% of humanity started vibrating at a higher frequency, would that assist the shift, or does it have to be 100%?
From research and from understanding, most ETs that do come to Earth, 100% of their entire civilization has a one world government system, a one world religion, and a one world currency on their planet. And Earth is the only way for Earth to actually shift into or a more evolutionary scale. This might probably anger a lot of people, but it has to be close to 100% in order for Earth to be classified as a level zero planet, or as the next step to their evolutionary process.
Yeah, I kind of believe that myself. And often when we do these kinds of shows, and that's what I liked about your YouTube channel, is you just tell it the way you've experienced it and the way you understand it. And that's much about what I do. And oftentimes, sometimes it's not meant for everybody, but we have to speak the truth, and we have to be bold and stand up and share. I think it's the only way to help with that transition. you know if we all just go, oh boy, everybody's happy and we just sit around, I don't think it's going to work.
Yeah, there is the way that I have learned it. um I am a human consultant for the Galactic Authority or Galactic Federation. So I educate off-worlders about humanity, and they're having a hard time understanding humanity as a whole because there are two different types of sectors that they have to deal with on Earth. The first sector is the government sphere, dealing with our own government system. And the second sphere is dealing with the public and dealing how they would interact with the public. And the government system for a long time now has known about their existence, but keeps a lid on it due to the fact that they're afraid of what would be unleashed onto the public. The public, on the other hand, is a mixed bag. Um, some people in the religious sector and the public sector believe that it's the second coming of their religion, or their Messiah is coming back to Earth. Um, on the other hand, there are certain groups of humans that believe that ETs are basically come here to come and save humanity. ETs are not here to come and save humanity. We have to be the ones as the human race to pull us out of the negativity that we have drowned ourselves in. And then there is the group, or the last group, where they're openly accepting, openly loving, and they want ETs to come here. They want them to show up and have a good time with them. But there are certain humans that are extremely hostile, and if they even show up on Earth, they would be killed on site. So it's a safety concern, not only for off-worlders, but it's also a safety concern for us as well.
Yeah. So when they look at the earth, are they looking at just the human race, or do they look at like the animals, the trees? Do they look at do they look at the earth as a whole picture, or like, is it just people? Is it just civilization they're concerned with?
The way that I was taught is that the human race is the most dominant surface dwelling race on the planet. The human race affects everything in every aspect of the planet. So they look at how humanity is affecting the planet as itself. And so they see us as one race. They don't see us as individuals because they technically they it's kind of hard to explain because the way that I was taught is that they do not pick out specific humans due to the fact that they don't want to create racism or bigotry between different humans amongst the planet. So they try to see us as one race, encompass us as one race. A lot of people need to understand that the races that come here do not have the type of issues that we are currently going through on Earth. They already have gone through the turmoil of civil war on their planet thousands and thousands of years ago, and we're just going through it. But we also have to understand that Earth is not the only planet that's going through this. There are millions of other planets that are also going through their evolutionary scale as well as Earth.
Yeah. And you mentioned earlier about they're not all going to land and it's going to be a big party. And I've had that conversation with people. Oh, we can't wait until the off-world people come, or the ETs, or whatever they call them, right? Can't wait till they get here because it's all going to be great. Well, I'm not sure. I've said that I don't think it's all going to be great. There's going to be issues, and yeah, there's a lot of work I believe needs to be done first. I believe they can maybe show themselves. Um, they say they show up in the clouds, and the water vapors in the sky is attracted to the magnetic fields of the ship. So the clouds take different forms. So there's ways that we can really acknowledge that somebody is out there or something is out there. But I think they can only come so close to us, and we can only go so close to them. And if we don't do our work and they do their work, we can't mix, you know? It's like water and oil, right?
Yeah, most ET races that come to Earth have to follow galactic law, which is also known as the Prime Directive. When you see UFOs or when you see ETs, a lot of these off-worlder races have to go through strict training, and I do mean strict training, to order to even step foot on this planet and interact with us. And you have to understand that some of these ETs live longer than us. And we only live to 100 years in human lifespan. So our society is constantly changing. So they constantly need to have new humans from different decades and different generations of humans because our society is constantly changing. There's new social norms, new types of food that they have to learn. There's new different customs that they have to constantly be learning. So this is an ongoing teaching moment for them due to the fact that they live longer than us and we live shorter lifespans than them. So this is an ongoing debate, ongoing teaching lesson for them. And it can be really frustrating and difficult for them because what they have learned for 100 years or so is probably like 10 years for them. And they just found out that after 100 years of studying humans, they have to start all back over again because our society has changed.
Yeah. You've used the word galactic. Throughout my life, I've heard the term the Galactic Federation of Light. Is that what you're referring to?
I'm referring to the consodium,
So
the
can you,
council. I'm
can you
referring to the consodium, which is also known as the Council of 12.
okay, now I've heard that recently. Can you explain a bit about the Council of 12?
The Council of 12 is based off of different galactic races all across the galaxy that come together to discuss galactic affairs all across our galaxy. And the Council of 12, how they are admitted to the council is that they have to have um have to have no prejudice of any kind. They cannot have any type of prejudice whatsoever between races, between sexes, between um any type of creature. They have to respect all living life, including trees, plants, animals, etc. They cannot have any type of prejudice or they be on the council.
So they're like a governing body. Is that why they come together? Like, or did they come and when they come together, do they work with energies that get transmitted
They
down?
mostly only deal with galactic laws and galactic affairs that affect planets or coexisting solar systems that could affect millions upon billions of lives.
So they're more concerned with what's going on out in the universe, kind of out in the galaxy, and making sure that everybody is really obeying the law, right?
Yes, throughout human history, if you have noticed throughout human literature and human texts, from what I have learned from them is that throughout human history, there has been uh, 4 or 5 attempts where human civilization has collapsed due to because of off-world threats that have basically changed and altered our entire understanding and our evolutionary scale on this planet.
Okay. And so they weren't allowed to interfere, or these are people that these are entities.
These are races that covertly try
Yeah,
to interfere with the human race.
right. And if we may, do you think that might be happening again now?
There are talks about it, but the thing about it is that the one thing that I have learned that if any type of race that tries to go anywhere towards our government structure of any kind on the planet, like they try to manipulate our government structure of any way, they will be eliminated on sight. Um, but you have to understand that there are loopholes in the galactic law. I am currently investigating or doing research about the hybrid program. I do believe that there are some sketchy stuff going on with the hybrid program, so I am trying to interview people and do more research about the hybrid program. But that is what I am currently learning about and understanding due to the fact that it's new for me.
Okay, so I don't know what a hybrid program is. Is that a mixture?
The hybrid program is a breeding program between off-worlders and humans,
Right.
and they coherently it was initiated by the consortiums through the Greys, and the Greys were chosen because they were masters at genetics. They were very good with genetics, and they helped other galactic beings to create culture interpreters to help different races understand humanity through their own language and culture techniques.
Hmm. Before I forget, Audrey, could you tell people how they can connect with you or how they can get to your channel? So,
So my channel is called StarNetlink. I have a business email in my profile. I also have Discord and my business email. And so that's usually where they can go ahead and contact me if they have any questions, comments, if they want to watch some of my videos and learn if they're curious to learn more. I'm hoping to publish more videos about my channel, but that's usually where they can go ahead and contact me.
okay. And I'll make sure I have all that information and I'll put it in the post when I put up the podcast. And this show will also go up on my YouTube channel and I'll distribute it across my social platforms. So we'll do that. Um, yeah, it's so interesting, like this hybrid stuff. I believe, I don't know if you've read any Zachariah Stitchin. He wrote some really interesting stuff from many, many years ago. I think in one form or another, it's been in play for a long time, interbreeding between off-world energies or entities or whatever you want to call them and humans.
There has been a book called The Book of Enoch, and it is a publication of human history record where off-worlders of actual physical document in human history where off-worlders have indeed bred with humans over the course of human history. So there is physical and legal documents stating that this has been occurring for thousands of years on this planet.
Wow. So if someone wants to have, I don't know, I guess this is the wrong way of putting it, wants to have an experience, because I think, in my case, a lot of it's random. I can't predetermine when it's going to happen. But if somebody wanted to encourage maybe some kind of contact or an experience, can you give them any advice on what they could do in their own lives to maybe enhance that?
So one of the things, there's video that I'm going to be posting about meditation soon. One of the ways that in order to have first contact for yourself is that you have to start working on yourself first through meditation. So the one thing that I have learned is that everybody on the planet has their own unique um energy signature, or aura as it's called, and this can help ETs know more about you, whether or not you are open to contact, your health, your soul history, more about yourself, basically. So when they see that it's not, I guess, healthy, then they know that you are not the type of human to have first contact. So when you start working on yourself, doing meditation and clearing out your chakra systems and your aura field and connecting to your inner self and the energies that are within yourself, you can start to change the vibrational frequency, or your energy signature, which is your aura field, to allow them to start communicating. A lot of off-worlders communicate through telepathy. It's the most basic and most commonly used form of communication. So once you start doing meditation, it will start to activate your psychic abilities, as it's called, which is telepathy. And this will allow you to be more contacted. Usually when first contact happens, they usually have to do a behavioral test on you to see whether or not you are docile or hostile, and to see the types of environment that you can handle. They're not just going to pick you up randomly. They have to do some seriously in-depth testing about yourself before they can actually physically take you on their ship and educate you and have your first real experience.
That's interesting. So simply put, by doing our self-work, by meditating and doing a few simple things, we change our light. We maybe become a brighter light, and they look around for the bright lights, and that's the ones they would think about initially working with.
Yes,
That's really
essentially, yes.
interesting. Yeah, that's good. I'm running out of time because we're coming up on the 30-minute mark, but I noticed on your YouTube channel, you do have videos about the chakra centers and about auras, and I think it's a great reference for people to go there and take in some of your knowledge. It's wonderful that you're sharing. Any last words, because we're running out of time? What you like to?
I just want to let people know, come and visit my channel anytime you want if you're curious about learning. My channel will always be here. I'm always open to educate people and answer questions that anyone has. And I also know a therapy group that people can go to who are having a very, very difficult time with their experiences to go to. So I do have a therapy group. I do have resources to help people and help other experiencers and let them know that they're not alone. And there are people out there to willing to help them go through what they're going through.
That's a very important point to let people know that you're not alone. You're not the first one to have these thoughts. You're not the first one to go through these experiences. And there are people holding out their hands to help you. So don't be afraid of reaching out. Everything's in confidentiality. And I think it's important. I think it's great that you're making yourself accessible to the people. And I think that's about it. I'd like to thank you very much, Audrey, for being on my show. I would like to have you back again if you want. We can connect.
Yeah, I would love to come back and
Yeah.
do some more podcast episodes with you. I would love to do that.
Yes. Okay, we'll schedule that for sure. And I would like to thank everyone for joining us. And like I say, Audrey's information will be up on my YouTube channel and on my social platforms. Please feel free to reach out to her. And I would like to thank everyone for sharing their time with us. This has been the Time Is Now podcast. And everyone have a wonderful evening. Thank you, Audrey.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.